Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hidden Dagger Inn. So, let's talk about how we can make gathering great again. How did we get here? Wasn't Ashes of Creation supposed to be about time and effort and dedication? A game that valued a player's time commitment and rewards for the grind that you put in. Right now, that is definitely not the case in Alpha 2 Phase 2. Now, in the latest live stream, the developers asked for some feedback on this highly scrutinized system because there's been lots of posts on the Ashes forums and talk in the global chat about the static gathering. And we, the players, need to speak up and let them know what we think about this. Are you guys for static gathering or against it? Let's break it down, discuss it, and let's get it the hell out of the game.
When is static rarity going away for gathering? If you aren't in game during the first 10 minutes, you may as well not bother for the entire week, is how people feel.
And this argument couldn't be more dead on. You get in the first 10 minutes of the server, you find a legendary or an epic, and you lock it down for 24 hours. Now, one of the developers seemed to think that 24 hours wasn't really a big deal.
These periods of static rarity are 24 hours at most, and it depends on the gatherable. So it's not that each time the server resets, we choose new rarities. There's a time period where something will regrow in the same spot with the same rarity. But after that time, there's a new check, and it'll spawn somewhere else.
So this statement makes it seem to me like 24 hours is no big deal. Do you even play your own game? Do you realize the damage that you've just done to the economy by allowing somebody to say, oh, I don't know, chop a legendary braidwood 6 times in your 24 hours, equaling 30 logs, and that's not including any bonus logs at 20 gold a pop. So now this player has up to 600 gold that he didn't have to do a damn thing for. Are you kidding me? That's what we're going for? Chinese farmers rejoice.
And part of the reason we do that is because we want to create situations where there's friction and conflict, where people will fight over these things.
This one kills me. How are you creating conflict when somebody mined a tree 4 hours ago and has it on a timer and nobody else in the world of Verra has a freaking clue that it even exists? Where's the conflict? Somebody enlighten me. Maybe I'm missing something. This game prides itself on being a risk versus reward experience. But tell me, where exactly is the risk when a player stumbles upon a legendary tree or iron ore and smacks it a few times, returns every few hours, and repeats the process? That player just walked away with a potential fortune for doing absolutely nothing and really screwing up the economy. No effort, no skill, no real competition, no conflict. They didn't work for it. They just got lucky and hit the lottery. But wait, there's more. They get to keep going back and hit the lottery over and over and over. So where's the conflict, devs? And the biggest reason for not allowing the static gathering is twofold. One, it absolutely destroys an economy. We all know how far MMOs get with a destroyed and ruined economy. All we gotta do is look at Arc Age, look at New World. When the economy goes, the game goes. And that's it. And you might never get those people back. Also, for a no pay to win, we already have gold sites. People are buying gold already in an Alpha 2 Phase 2. I've seen a huge uptick in all of a sudden Chinese names and Feng Shu offering 10 legendary braidwood. All kinds of gold being sold and transferred. The farmers are at it already, and what are we doing about it? We're enabling them. You are enabling them with this system. So with that rant being over, let's talk about possible solutions. How can we fix this mess? Well, one, as much as I don't like this idea, I feel in some way to negate this pay to win and farmer trend that we have and will be a problem for all of gaming is to do level gate trading. Just like the marketplace where you have to be level 10 in order to trade something, I believe that at least a farmer should have to get up to level 10 and put some time and effort into their character That way, they just can't go ahead and buy a subscription, do a chargeback to the developers, and who cares if they get banned because they did a chargeback. So that's how they at least are going to have to go ahead and put in a little bit of effort, take a little bit of their time before you ban them. And it's really a shame that everyday players are going to have to suffer through not being able to trade doing all at level 1 or something like that. But unfortunately, that's just the world we live in nowadays, and we're going to have to make some concessions in order for the betterment of the game. And number 2, stating the obvious before, we need to kill static gathering. If they want to have some kind of small rarity tree out there or node, something fine. I would like to see only up to heroic, no higher unless you have a high rarity threshold or some rarity threshold to hit that next level. But once that node, however they do it, once that node is tapped, it doesn't come back. It can spawn somewhere else that your explorers can find it, but it should never spawn in the same place again. And one of the other ways, and I kind of touched on it briefly before, making gathering great again. Look, we have set up all this stuff. They have all this stuff for us to use. They have larger bags with rarity rating. You can use good materials to make a better tool. You can get drops in artisan clothes. You can tailor artisan clothes. You can do elixirs. You can do food. You can do surveys. All these tools to enhance the rarity threshold. And yet we're going to let some nub go on out there for 24 hours and gather 600 gold worth of a resource. That's just absolutely a kick in the nuts to anybody who spent all the time out there trying to level up their gear. That's the way it should be. This game should be a marathon, not a sprint. We should be taking time, investing in our characters, investing in our tools to make gathering better. Steven made an interesting point on, he had an idea where he'd like to do some kind of a longer lasting node spawn where it would create conflict because it would take some time and people would find out where this was because it'd be rather large and easy to see. I think that's great. Unfortunately, I believe that again caters to the large guilds and the Zerg guilds. I'm not sure quite how I feel about that, but that's really not what this topic is about. We'll get more onto that later, but it is interesting. I think it could be implemented in a different way, a way that maybe nodes or guilds could actually earn it other than just the size of their guild. But that's something we'll talk about at a later date. So before this video gets too out of hand with my rant, we just need to make sure that we go ahead and put our 2 cents in about this. This has already been a topic that I've already talked about once and talking about again because it's so important. And Vacnar said today, 3/11 at the date of this recording, that they're going to be consolidating posts and putting them up on the Ashes forums. I will leave a link in the description below. So please go check those forums out. And when you see that, respond to it. Give them the feedback they need. I mean, if you love it, then say you love it. But I do believe that the majority of the players hate the system and they feel it's going to be detrimental to the Ashes of Creation. No one more than me wants Ashes of, well, maybe others than Steven, wants Ashes of Creation to succeed. I'm pinning all my MMO hopes on this. And I just want a game that's going to last. I don't want a flash in the pan. Something that's going to be gone in 3 months and then done. So we all need to put our minds collectively together and try to make this the best experience that we can, to have the best MMO launch that's possible. And I know they're working hard over there. This is not in any way, shape, or form a shot at them. But when something needs to be fixed, I'm going to call it out and say it needs to be fixed. So hopefully soon, guys, we'll see some changes. I know that Lexi said they got some changes coming up at the end of March. We're going to give our feedback. We're going to let them cook with this stuff. Hopefully they get it fixed before the next wipe. Because if it's not fixed before the next wipe, it's going to be bad. But let's hope that they take care of this issue. Let's give our feedback. Let's try to stay constructive. I know I went a little bit of ranty today, but let's try to stay constructive and give them our feedback. All right, guys, everybody have a great night. Take care. God bless.